the latest developments.
I'm Ken Scriven. A Rotterdam neighborhood is on alert today for a convicted sex offender who police say has the propensity to strike again. That story is coming up.
And I'll tell you if rain will affect any of your outside plans over the weekend. Channel 6 News at 6 starts right now.
Channel 6 News is everywhere. Live, the most watched news station in the capital region. This is Channel 6 News at 6.
Good evening. A 19-year-old football player is killed after a two-car accident on Route 4 in North Greenbush.
The Columbia County teenager is a graduate of Taconic Hills High School and was heading to Hudson Valley to play football. Tom Langford is live outside the school with more.
The student who died was a well-liked young man here at Taconic Hills. In fact, his principal says the death is like losing a member of the family. 19-year-old Dana Bissett played basketball, football. He was also a good student, taking college-level courses while in high school. He had just graduated from Taconic Hills this year, and he planned to go on to Hudson Valley Community College. He was, in fact, on his way to football practice this morning at Hudson Valley when the accident happened. Police say, for some reason, Bissett's car crossed the center line on Route 4 in North Greenbush. He hit another car head-on and was killed. In this close community, the death of this young man is difficult.
I think the school and community is still in shock. We're still reeling from the notification regarding the accident, and you know, we're trying at this point to help each other get through this.
Counselors were at the school this afternoon for people to talk with if they would like to. One person was in that other car that was hit. He is 76-year-old George Rose of Troy. He's in Albany Medical Center, listed in critical condition. Live in Columbia County, Tom Langford, Channel 6 News.
And only on Channel 6 News, word tonight that another Schenectady police officer could face charges as part of the ongoing FBI investigation.
Darcy Wells is live in a newsroom right now with the story. Darcy?
Well, Brad and Liz, he is Officer William Marhafer, a 5-year veteran of the Schenectady Police Department. The FBI is looking into allegations that Marhafer gave drugs to a known drug user in the city. Marhafer is the 5th Schenectady police officer to be connected to drug-related activity since the FBI began its investigation into the department 2 years ago. So far, 2 officers have pleaded guilty. 2 others are fighting the charges. The federal investigation has revealed police misconduct among certain officers who patrolled the Hamilton Hills section of the city. The misconduct includes officers shaking down drug dealers and paying off informants with drugs. Marhafer has not been charged with any crime, but he has retained an attorney who will not comment on the investigation. Police Chief Greg Kazmarek would only say that Marhafer's position with the department has not changed. Reporting live from the newsroom, Darcy Wells, Channel 6 News.
Meantime, a federal judge says 2 former Schenectady cops did violate a man's civil rights. David Sampson brought a suit against Michael Seiler and Richard Barnett. The officers, who, according to Barnett, picked him up on the streets of Hamilton Hill, took his shoes, and dumped him in Glenville. A jury will now have to decide any monetary damages for Sampson, who's in jail on unrelated drug charges. The 2 officers have since been fired for pleading guilty to unrelated criminal charges.
Well, just days after someone took dozens of guns from a Colony gun store, Rotterdam police are dealing with their own gun theft. They're looking for whoever it was who took 19 guns from a Rotterdam home and then may have used one of them in Schenectady. Rotterdam police say the guns were taken from a lockbox at 2343 Curry Road on July 31st, but the theft was not reported until August 8th. The owner is a licensed gun dealer who says the handguns are collectibles. Wednesday night, police drove by a Stanley Street house in Schenectady and heard a gunshot, and when they went back, no one was there, but one of the stolen guns, they say, was left on the lawn.
It's a house that Albany police have raided time and time again, but this latest time they found something different.
Albany News Chief Judy Sanders has more.
Even the outside, I'd be outside sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, sweeping the front.
53-year-old James Hale is a model tenant living above a quagmire of filth. He's a disabled vet, a church sexton, and he's suffering from cancer and diabetes.
I'm not in the mood for moving around. I don't have to, financially or psychologically.
There you go.
The city wanted to condemn the building at 394 Clinton Avenue because of what was in the basement. During a drug raid yesterday, police arrested 33-year-old Jerome Baker for selling marijuana. But they also found a grotesque torture chamber for 3 pit bulls trained for illegal dogfighting. There were weights, ropes, and chains bolted to the ground to train the dogs. In the process, they fouled the floor and the backyard, and there were sewage problems, so the city cited the landlord for sanitation violations. It's the 5th time police have raided Milton Horn's property since October. But how did he not know what was going on here since last October?
Okay. That's a question for Mr. Howard. Thank you.
The badly bitten and scarred dogs were taken to Central Veterinary for treatment. They were docile despite the abuse.
He has a lot of deep and superficial bite wounds. He's a bit thin. He's pretty head shy, so you know he's probably taken a few shots to the head.
The landlord has promised to correct the sanitation problems, so James Hale will be allowed to stay. But he wants the city to repair his door, which was ramrodded during the raid. In all, 21 people have been arrested during the 5 drug raids at the house since last October, but the landlord has been cited for only 1 code violation. And the dogs are now at the Hudson Mohawk Humane Society and will be put up for adoption once the legal proceedings are done. I'm Judy Sanders, live in the Albany newsroom.
The man convicted of opening fire and killing 2 people and injuring 8 others in a siege with police outside a Mechanicsville restaurant has been denied parole. It was 25 years ago that Kenyon Prine opened fire at Joyce's log cabin. A state parole board today denying his request for release. The parole board stated they turned down his application because of what they called Prine's extremely violent nature and total disregard for human life. A Mechanicsville cop was killed and another officer lost an eye in that shootout. Prine cannot apply for parole again now for another 2 years.
A warning tonight from a Rotterdam neighborhood about a convicted child sex offender living in their midst.
This is the 3rd local community forced to deal with a man that's been described by police as someone who might offend again. Ken Screven reports.
In January, Kevin Gabriel returned to his mother's home in Rotterdam after spending 4.5 years in a North Carolina prison. He was convicted of molesting a 5-year-old boy. Authorities say Gabriel would blindfold his victim and then molest him.
Mr. Gabriel has been classified as a level 3 sex offender, that he has the highest potential to reoffend.
But when Gabriel moved back to Rotterdam, he did not comply with Megan's Law and notify local police of his whereabouts. The 44-year-old man was arrested for that, and eventually he moved on to a trailer park in Ravina, and then to Guilderland, where neighbors in both communities were not comfortable.
It's everywhere. We can't escape that factor.
9 days ago, Gabriel moved back to Rotterdam and registered with police as a sex offender. He is living here off and on with his elderly mother, Lorraine. Well, there are some in this Rotterdam neighborhood who are willing to forgive and forget Gabriel for his legal past, acknowledging that he has paid a debt to society in prison. But there are some neighbors who are not.
Pretty sick thing he did, you know. Can't be, as long as he stays away from this house, he's all right.
The Gabriel home is around the corner from a popular playground, and police are now notifying the community that Gabriel, a level 3 offender, is here.
We're required to notify vulnerable entities, which include, but may not be limited to, schools, daycare centers, religious institutions, any place where children might be.
One resident said since returning home from prison, Gabriel had been a good guy and a good neighbor. Ken Screven, Channel 6 News, Rotterdam.
Authorities say Gabriel also faced charges in Oklahoma that he molested a 9-year-old girl.
Channel 6 News is everywhere. Coming up next.
The Capital Region's new Amtrak station is running late, but it's coming along. We'll update the cost and take a look inside.
Hi, I'm Danny Nicola. It's a mad, 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 mad world. It was a comedy classic from the 60s. An imitation opens today. Will that, too, turn into a classic?
People who depend on weather depend on Steve LaPointe and Instant Doppler 6.
Well, I run Saratoga skydiving, and there's not a more critical element than weather to the sport of skydiving. So we did some risk to LaPointe. Today's a good example. 50-50, might be showery in the afternoon, but Steve said he really thought it was going to clear out. Here it is, our students are underway. It's all working out.
Steve LaPointe and Instant Doppler 6, your 15-minute edge on the weather.
Way to go, Steve LaPointe!
A Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Smart smart designs that maximize room, comfort, and ride. Now with low 0.9 financing on Dodge Stratus, Intrepid, and Neon, or up to $2,500 cash allowance. See, compare, drive, Dodge during the Team Dodge sales event.
By this time next year, Amtrak passengers traveling to and from Albany are going to pass through one of the fanciest train stations in America.
But arriving at that milestone has taken a lot more time and money than anyone anticipated when it started. Doug Lizette updates us now on the project's cost and progress.
Even on a rainy morning in Rensselaer, the new rail station looks impressive. But it will be months before trains stop here instead of the tired Amtrak depot next door. CDTA, the regional bus agency which is building the station, has encountered cost overruns and delays since the groundbreaking in June 1999. The parking garage, connecting bridge, track work, and terminal are now expected to cost $53 million, $10 million more than expected. And the lobby won't be open for passengers until next June, 12 months behind schedule.
The architect thinks that people will come in here and they will think and feel about railroads.
CDTA Executive Director Dennis Fitzgerald defended the project's cost.
And we think when it is all said and done, the cost for this can be compared to any public building without being embarrassed.
Fitzgerald blames some of the problems on the piecemeal way the project was funded and the fact the station had to be built around one of the nation's busiest Amtrak lines. He said moving tracks just a few feet to accommodate two high-level platforms was complicated and costly. Now, the last phase of the project is about to begin, construction of a passageway from the lobby entrance, now boarded up, across the tracks so that passengers can reach the trains. It's been the CDTA's biggest building project ever, the most costly of its kind in the nation as well.
Well, we're told that this is the largest rail station built in the country in 40 or 50 years.
Running a year late, but still on track. In Rensselaer, Doug Lizette, Channel 6 News.
Horse racing is a $2 billion a year industry in New York, and therefore state legislators are questioning what effect the proposed OTV sale will have statewide. Senate Majority Leader Joe Bruno announcing today that the state lawmakers will hold hearings this fall on the proposed sale. Bruno is hoping that those hearings will allow the Senate to gain some insight as well as comments and suggestions about the proposed sale. The dates have not yet been finalized.
Well, you might call it a little bit of country right in the middle of the city. Colony Town officials breaking ground on the Crossings of Colony, a 130-acre nature preserve and park. When it's finished in the spring of 2003, this site will include barns and pavilions, plus several nature and bike trails. Nestled in the middle of the busy Wolf Road Commercial District, Colony Town Supervisor Mary Brizzell says this is a dream come true for her town.
And the preservation of open space in the town of Colony is at such a premium that to not do this project to me would be a sin.
Project estimated to cost $8.5 million.
So the rain and that sound bite, a little tug of war there today between the sun and the rain, but the sun ultimately, I think, came out the winner, and we hope we're the winner for the weekend. Steve?
I think we will be, Liz. Right now, it's downright tropical outside, but that's going to change as we move into Saturday. Kind of an interesting weekend forecast. Back to tell you about it when Channel 6 News at 6 continues.
Time to clean us out at Peter Harris. It's our end-of-season warehouse sale. The rock-bottom bargains you've been waiting for.
If you're looking for a great car, Otto is the one.
I just bought my wife a brand new Cadillac and a terrific used car for my daughter.
Otto's the one.
With over 700 new and used vehicles available, Otto is the one for selection and service you can be sure to trust.
There's really only one place to go.
With over 50,000 satisfied customers,
I just got my first car at Otto. I'll be back.
Otto is the one. Now's the time to buy at the Otto Group, 1730 Central Avenue.
Children with Down syndrome are a gift of life.
The Buddy Walk was just an unbelievable experience.
There was just celebration all over, all around us. As a mom, it just really touched my heart.
I tell everybody about how good Walmart has been to us. Their people came out and walked.
They provided lunch.
With Walmart, we have become partners. They love our kids.
That's what we all want, is our children to be accepted for who and what they are. I was very proud of our walk. People cared about our kids.
I lost my tooth today. I started musical play. I finally got an A. I got new glasses today.
Turn little moments into big ones. The new Little Love ice cream cake from Carvel. Ice cream and crunchies in a perfect family size and price. Get Little Love at a Carvel store or supermarket. With a little love.
Jamie Bohan owns a Hyundai Sonata.
We looked at consumer ratings and all of the features that came with the vehicle.
This is Jamie's second Hyundai.
It's very luxurious, it's very dependable.
Sonata comes with the freedom of America's best warranty and more horsepower, room, and standard features than Camry, yet is priced thousands less. Just $14,999 with automatic transmission. The Hyundai Sonata. It's a lot more car.
For a limited time, get the Sonata with automatic transmission at no extra charge during our summer sell-down.
This segment of Channel 6 News is brought to you by Zyrtec. Now, your instant Doppler 6 forecast with meteorologist Steve LaPointe.
Well, to say the least, it was quite a changeable day today, starting out with that steel gray overcast and some steady rain this morning, 0.12 of an inch at Albany. And then the sun came out and the humidity has surged. 83 the official high with an overnight low of 69 degrees. Watch the Weather Watcher reports. A couple of spots, especially up into Saratoga County, coming in with about 3/4 of an inch of rain, so some beneficial rains in the area this morning and overnight last night. Checking out your allergy alert pollen level forecast. Pollen levels shooting up into the high category for Saturday. Pretty high on Sunday as well, and then Monday dropping off quite a bit. It looks like we could be in for some pretty good rains as we move into Sunday night and Monday. Checking out temperatures, it's pretty warm. 82 at Albany, 80 up at Glens Falls, 73 at Rutland, 79 at North Adams, 76 Pittsfield, and Poughkeepsie right now at 80 degrees. Temperature again at Albany, 82. Look at the heat index all the way up to 87, and that's because the dew point's up there at 71. That's pretty impressive, but you don't have to go too far to the west to see the dew point starting to drop off. In fact, dew point at Utica at 62 and 54 at Binghamton, so some nice refreshing air back in here, which is very slowly moving off towards the east. There's a cold front basically right on the Capital District, and it is sparking off 1 or 2 showers, thunderstorms. Let's go over to street level radar first, and we'll show you where the one storm is that we have on radar. Actually, a couple of cells in this, running from Cambridge in southern Washington County now into portions of western and northwestern Bennington County in Vermont. Just to the west of Manchester is where the heaviest rain is, and just to the east of West Rupert, and these are gradually tracking off towards the east. Now let's go over to our exclusive instant Doppler 6 live weather radar. I've got the radar set on an interesting setting that we very rarely show you, but I'll show it to you tonight because it's a relatively quiet night. And what I've done is I've stopped the radar's horizontal rotation, and I've got it beamed at that cluster of thunderstorms over there into Bennington County, Vermont. What we're doing is we're shooting into the vertical, and you can kind of see the beam, the scan here going up and down. That's taking a look at those storms, and we're seeing that they're about, well, 20,000 feet in height. So not particularly impressive, but look at all the red, some torrential downpours, no doubt about that, over into Bennington County, Vermont, just to the west of Manchester. So that's one of the neat things we can do with our live radar. Let's go back to the maps now, and we'll show you that the frontal system, again, is right on us. That'll be moving on through, and we do dry it out a little bit behind it. Next storm, though, we already have to be concerned with is up here across the upper Mississippi River Valley. This will come together and actually take a track a little bit further south than the one that came through today. And that's this one here, and that, again, could mean some pretty good rains for us, but probably later rather than sooner. In the meantime, clouds moving east, little batch trying to come in from the west, but I think these will dissipate, so that should set the stage for a pretty nice Saturday. Even these showers here coming off of Lake Ontario pretty much falling apart. So again, looks good tomorrow, sunshine, lower humidity, temperatures right around 80 degrees, so it looks like a nice day. And now I'm a little more optimistic for Sunday. We'll start it with some sun, but lose that quickly, so it looks pretty gray for Sunday. But this storm, because now it looks like it will be taking more of a southern route, will be slower to organize and slower to move east. There will be an expanding area of rain coming into the southern tier, but probably holding off here in the capital region until either the late afternoon and evening. So that means most of Sunday, for most of us, will be dry. For tonight, 62 with partly cloudy. Expect areas of fog to form late tonight. 80 tomorrow looks like a great day with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Tomorrow night, just some high clouds coming in late, lows near 60. And here's your 6-day forecast. A little bit of rain coming in mainly late Sunday. If we're lucky, probably after dark. And then Sunday night into Monday, we could be looking at some beneficial rain, substantial rains, and then we dry it out, clear it out for Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday with seasonable temperatures.
Lawns were a little greener today.
I think they were a little happier
responded
today.
quickly.
Gardens are doing well today as well.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay.
Coming up, it was everything the Giants could have hoped for a game that really didn't count.
Plus, a really big name appears to be on his way to the Racing City just in time for the Travers. Guess who? Well, you don't have to. Tim Mack's going to tell you all about it next in sports.
This segment of Channel 6 News is sponsored by Today's Limousine.
Welcome back. Doug Sherman is off tonight. Well, it's been talked about at the track all summer. Now it appears as if it might really be happening. Point Given, winner of this year's Preakness in Belmont, tentatively set to run in this year's Travers Stakes at Saratoga. The 3-year-old colt is currently the top-ranked thoroughbred in the nation, but he's been battling a foot injury. Now his trainer, Bob Baffert, said today he's doing well. He's basically recovered, and barring further injury, he will likely run in the Summer Classic up at Saratoga. Point Given, who's now in California, is set to head east on Tuesday. Well, it might not have been a Super Bowl caliber performance, but last night's preseason win over the Jaguars was just the kind of showing Coach Jim Fossil had been asking his team for all week at Albany. All the right players stepped it up for New York. Ron Dane showing flashes of speed and power. He was very powerful right through the middle, while fellow running back Kiki Barber is out with a hand injury. Wideout Joe Jaravicius also put in the kind of showing the coaches were looking for, catching a TD pass in the waning seconds of the second quarter. Quarterback Terry Collins says last year's Super Bowl loss is keeping his team hungry.
I think you lose a game like that the way we did, and kind of lose a bad taste in your mouth. So I know there's, it hasn't sat well with me this offseason and coming into this year, and I think it's the same things we said for a lot of guys.
Baseball now, the day after the Red Sox fired Jimmy Williams, one manager apparently not in danger of losing his job, Joe Torre. Published reports say the Yankees skipper close to agreeing on a contract that would keep him in the New York dugout through 2004. Torre, who has guided the Yanks to 4 World Series titles in 5 years, will likely get a deal worth $13 million. Round 2 of the PGA Championships still underway at this hour in Duluth, Georgia. Defending champ Tiger Woods hoping this would not be a repeat of the tough performance he had yesterday. Tiger is, get this, in danger of missing the cut after shooting a 73 yesterday. He's 2 over par through 14 holes today. The cut will likely be 1 over par. Phil Mickelson, meanwhile, poised to take his first major. He's 1 shot off the lead after shooting a 66 today, following a 66 in the opener. Surprise at the tourney, the current co-leader, the Cowboy, Shingo Katayama, who's a 9 under after a 6 under 64 yesterday.
I can get this course. I still think I can get a little bit lower, and I'll certainly be trying to. I'm certainly not displeased with 4 under. I played both days. I played very well, but I do feel as though I may have left 3 or 4 out there, and I'd like to go get them tomorrow.
So normally the time when Tiger makes his move, but now he's just looking to stay in the tourney.
A lot of people like Phil Mickelson, though. They'd like to see him win that
Indeed,
first one.
this could be his tourney right here.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Well, we hope you'll join us for Channel 6 News at 11. Robbers striking some area homes again. They're using hooks and lines to fish for valuables. We'll show you where.
Plus, it's Christmas in August as a local family raises money to help Santa Claus fight cancer.
Straight ahead here, an all-star cast proving just how far people will go for the chance to win $2 million.
Dandy Nicola is going to take a closer look at the new movie Rat Race coming up. It's the Steak and Lobster Fest to benefit Schenectady Day Nursery, August 22nd in Central Park. Tickets available at Price Chopper or call for details.
In Rat Race, a group of strangers is racing across the desert in an attempt to win $2 million.
But in the process, the race may drive them all a little bit nutty. Here's Dandy Nicola with a review.
If you recall seeing a crazy 60s comedy called It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, you'll recognize the dead ode by an imitation called Rat Race.
Miss, can I have another one of these, please? Oh, sorry. I thought you were a woman.
I am a woman. It's a crazy, no, wait, it's billed as a crazy non-stop laugh comedy about a chase for loot from Vegas to New Mexico. And doing the chasing, an all-star cast. Whoopi Goldberg, John Lovitz, Mr. Bean's Rowan Atkinson as a narcoleptic Italian, Cuba Gooding Jr. as an NFL rep, Seth Green, Breckenmeyer, all wanting to get to the loot first. And tracing their every move, the instigator, a Vegas impresario, played by John Cleese. He's in a room with high-stakes rollers, which, of course, makes Rat Race in debt to TV shows like Survivor. Directed by Jerry Zucker, who gave us Airplane, Rat Race is good-natured, but it's a mess. The reason, I believe, too many characters to attend to, too many gags to set up. In the confines of an airplane, not that much of a problem. But here in the desert, it's this guy, it's that guy, and this gag, and that gag, setting it all up. And they all run into each other. Some funny, some almost funny, others just predictably flat. The sight of Lovitz and Hitler's limo, it's priceless. But too much of the movie, though, just caves in. Rat Race gets a C+. I'm Dandy Nicola.
I don't know, the cow on the windshield did it for me.
Might need to bring your scorecard, though, to keep track of everything.
That's it for tonight. Thanks so much for being with us.
CBS Evening News coming on here next. We'll be back tonight at 11. Hope to see you then.
The Western Fire